What's up, guys, for a little off-season content here with Sam. Today, we're going to be covering some Dynasty Offseason Sleepers. Some guys who may be on your waiver wire, some guys who you can maybe pick up for cheap this offseason that I think just at the price you are going to have to pay to acquire them right now may turn into something next year. Now, I'm not saying these are going to be 100% breakout guys or even players that you should be spending a lot of capital to acquire. But at the moment, I just think these are some long shot players that I think are worth the acquisition or the risk that you're going to have to pay to go get them. So first off is going to be Andrei Iosivas. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. Obviously, wide receiver for the Bengals. I think number one here, this is kind of just a bet against T. Higgins re-signing with the Bengals, right? If T. Higgins stays, I don't really think he's going to be too much of a fantasy factor. I think he looked pretty good this season, especially with Chase and or Higgins out when he did get playing time and a higher snap share. So if T. Higgins leaves and they don't fully replace that role, I could see Iosivas getting some run as maybe a wide receiver 3. Maybe he pops off a bit. He's a big athletic player and tied to Joe Burrow for his rookie contract. Those are definitely positives that I'm looking for. Second is going to be Jaleel McLaughlin, running back for the Denver Broncos. I think the thing that attracts me to McLaughlin is that he is one of Sean Payton's guys, right? Payton drafted him, whereas Williams, Judy, Sutton, obviously Russ probably not going to work out there. But McLaughlin looked good when he did have the ball in his hands. So I just kind of think he's going to be involved in the offense, even if it is in a minimal role. He's quick, he's small, he's a good change of pace guy from Javonte Williams. So I would just imagine McLaughlin being there. And if his role can grow and that offense can become more efficient, I think he could turn into a flex-worthy PPR kind of RB2, RB3 kind of role. Third off is someone who's going to be one of the older guys on this list, Darnell Mooney. This is kind of just a gut feeling. He is in his last year with the Bears, so he's going to be hitting free agency. I think there's a lot of good wide receivers that are coming up to their contracts, but I think a lot of them may return to their team, whether it's Michael Pittman. We'll see with T. Higgins. We just spoke about him. I think Mooney is a pretty good route runner who's just kind of been stuck in a run-heavy scheme in the Chicago Bears. So I could see Mooney going to a team that really knows how to use him a little more efficiently. Maybe he ends up as a wide receiver 3 with the Chiefs or the Dolphins or the Rams if Robinson and, Robinson leaves, or who really knows, but I just think he's a pretty good route runner, and I could see him in a better offensive having some value just coming next year. And I really don't think you're paying much for Mooney, McLaughlin, Iosivas, right? Like, you could probably get a lot of these guys for 4th round picks, maybe a late 3rd. I'd probably pay a 3rd for McLaughlin if you had to. I probably wouldn't pay an early 3rd, but a late 3rd for sure. And then I'm just going to throw you guys one tight end and one quarterback as well, just to kind of give you some other names besides wide receivers and running backs. And my QB for the week is going to be Jake Browning. I really just think I liked what he saw when he played for the Bengals this year with Joe Burrow out, that I just have a hard time believing he isn't one of the best 32 to 40 quarterbacks. And look how many QBs played this season in the NFL with all the injuries. So if you can put yourself in that top 40, you're probably going to play some games. I really see him stepping into a role maybe similar to Minshew this year, where he maybe battles in camp. He might be the starter. He might not, but could be a good bridge guy, could be a elite backup. And I just think as long as he's on a team that at least has some weapons, he put up pretty good stats when he was in there, that he's someone I think is worth rostering on the bottom of your Superflex rosters to see what you can get either as a starter for your team, or if you can turn him into draft capital come next year if he ends up starting again. Last, probably going to be the most expensive guy on this list. That's going to be Tucker Kraft. I think last time I checked, he was about tight end 19 on KTC, which isn't super expensive, but he has looked pretty good. And obviously with the Packers still in the playoffs. But I just think Musgrave is still rated higher than him. And I could see that really turning into a battle this offseason. And maybe Kraft comes out ahead. He looks very good, solid. Musgrave is more athletic, but I think Kraft is a more dependable, just better blocker, better play action guy that maybe he wins the job in a more of a run heavy, just kind of all around offense in the Packers moving forward. So those are 5 guys that I think would be worth acquiring this offseason. I'll run through them again. Iosivas, Jaleel McLaughlin, Darnell Mooney, Jake Browning, Tucker Kraft. Hit me up in the comments if you are looking for trade packages to try to go get these guys, or just kind of what you would pay to acquire them. I love coming at you guys with some Dynasty offseason content. Definitely hit the follow, subscribe, hit the video, like it. I appreciate it, y'all.